This fine Tuesday morning, and we asked you in our question of the day, who is to blame for Gachagwa's downfall, right? And we have a couple of your responses. There are quite many, and I'll just take a few from Facebook. And we have Honorable Rono Aaron, who says, I blame his people around him from his region. Edgar Aguata says, shares and the choir masters of the upper and lower houses. Joe Daniels says, I know Mama Rachel knows her husband is doing wrong, but there is nothing she can do. Another one from Kev Kalush says, he himself. And Keeps Kilel says, nothing but his mouth. Right. Now, just to read a few more, we have another one here says, good morning. G kutoka Nax, Gachagua needs some whips. Real men don't cry, it weakens you. Manze, wacha tu a step. Another one says, good morning, I'm Lenny Rogut from Kericho. Keenly following the debate. This war on DP Gachagua is because of one, he speaks the truth, nothing but the truth. The swearing in will not happen as alleged. That's according to my jurisprudence. Okay. Another one says, should I sympathize with Gachagua? It is political norm in Kenya, politics of betrayal. This is from Alfayo. Right, so gentlemen, right before we went on a break, he had mentioned something about the Professor Kindiki's character, which is he is someone who's moral and he's soft-spoken and he speaks a particular way. So whatever is happening right now, he may seem to be having, according to you, Vincent, a moral crisis. Do you believe that? Do you believe Professor is having a moral crisis right now?
I don't think he's having a moral crisis now because, as I said, anyone who follows Luto, I don't know what happens to their character afterwards. Because we used to know Kindiki as a sober person. Kindiki is a professor of law. He knows that the law should be followed in this process.
So how do we put this? Professor represented President Ruto during the ICC.
Yes.
You know, while the case was happening.
Yes.
You know, and they have a long-standing relationship.
Yes.
So does that allude or say anything toward his character?
You see, in our country, it's not about how we have been friends, of how we have worked together before. Now it's a question of law. We cannot question their friendship there before. We don't know what it's all about. But it's a question of law. Because if you ask any lawyer in this country, they will tell you, according to our constitution, Kindiki should be the last person to fall for this madness. Because this is madness. Kindiki has been a civil servant. You should not be a civil servant 3 months prior for you to be appointed as a deputy president. It's the law of our country. Are we together? Kindiki saw the accusation that were leveled against Gachagua. He should tell people that those accusations were not enough. You should have brought something solid to show the public that this Gachagua deserves to go home. But what we saw there, Wakina Mutuse. Mutuse could not even substantiate one claim that he was given to go and read about Gachagua. We have seen the charge. You know, Teresia Wairimu, televangelist, Teresia Wairimu. It's the church where Rachel Ruto goes for the services. Are you together? And he's one saying that we all along thought that this regime belongs to God. But we are all wrong. Because now we can see where our country is heading. And I want to tell Chief Justice today that history will be kind to you if for the first time you can stand with the constitution of this country. Kenya is not, we are not ruled by the rule of jungle. We have a constitution. And that's why we are proud as a country to have a constitution that I'll go to court and say, Article 10 or Article 12, Article what? I'm not guilty, I'm innocent. Because of the Constitution. And the Constitution is not for the mighty. The Constitution is for every person in Kenya. President William Ruto should know that the power he has been given, it is Kenyans who have delegated their power to him to serve them. It's not that he has that power for himself, so that he can do whatever he wants in this country, so that he can have the parliament. It is so sad that you have executive that has taken over the legislature, the Senate. They want to take over the judiciary. They want to silence every voice. A country 2 years down, we don't have IEBC. Right now, we have constituents that they don't have representatives. We have wars that don't have representatives. We have our national assets, secret deals being sold to foreigners. And Kenyans think it's a joke. It's not a joke anymore. We have never seen this. The last time we saw these things, we were not even born. We were being told it was Moi, during Moi era. But Ruto should know we have a new constitution. And that's why I think he was against the new constitution. Because he wanted, when he takes power, he can be the law. He can be the one who passes the law. He can be the one who implements the law. And he can be the one who interprets the law. That's why I'm telling the judiciary, if you let this happen, the history will not be kind to you. Because it will be said during the era of Chief Justice Martha Koome, we had one of the heinous acts that was done to our constitution. I'm not here defending Gachagua. I don't like anyone in this regime. You see, one of the advisors of Kibaki in 2005 asked Kibaki, how are you able to take this country from point A to point E? And Kibaki told that advisor that a government is like a steam engine, a train. That if you want the country to go to point E, you start redirecting it at point A. It will find, the country will just automatically find itself at point D. But you have a president here. Since he came to office, I want any Kenyan who is watching us to tell us just one policy, just one, that Ruto has implemented successfully. This is a man who every day comes with new policies daily. As a young person, when he came into power, he said kazi mtaani ilikuwa kazi ya ujinga. Ilikuwa kazi ya kufungua sewerage, hiyo si kazi ya vijana. Mimi nitaonyesha ile kazi mtakuwa mnafanya, kazi ya heshima. Mtapanda 15 billion trees. He told the youth, we will plant 15 billion trees until today. He told the youth, we will have a hustler fund that will revolutionize how we work things in this country. Hustler fund, it's on the deathbed. Are we together? He has resorted to kazi mtaani, a plan that he was saying it's rubbish. Because he doesn't have a plan. Ruto, you see, I want Kenyans to know that for the last 24 years, we heard people used to say that he's a political, what do you call it? Moi was a scientist, political scientist, father of all politics. But the father of all politics, look at where he left our country. No roads, no hospitals, no infrastructure, nothing. Are you together? The father of politics in Kenya. Because Moi used to think about politics each and every minute. Ni kupanga. Now we have people calling Ruto a chess master of politics. Look at where our country is, a chess master of politics. Look at where our country is. 2 years down the line with chess master of politics. For the first time, we have potholes in Westlands. Just move towards Westlands. City center, we have potholes in new roads. Because even the CSAs, they are cutting deals. He's not interested with serving Kenyans. It is politics daily. In fact, even in this impeachment of Gachagua, don't be lied. It's political. Ruto is just planning 2027 game. He doesn't care about education, infrastructure, everything. He does not give a damn. Right.
So because this is what we are actually, focusing on, the aspect of the politics. Like I said earlier on, there is the ideal, what the citizens want the legislatures to look at, but then there's what is happening in the country right now, which is the issue of this impeachment. So at the end of the day, when we're looking at this particular aspect, what role does Kindiki play in this regime? Or this, like, what is he supposed to bring forth? We have impeached DP Gachagua saying that his role was to, just help him win an election, help him get a region. But what do you believe is the role of, nominee Kindiki here, and what is he supposed to bring to the table?
Well, I would be honest here, and be as soft as a man can be. I hope we will still have a truthful man in the cabinet who will tell us the truth. We had
truthful
one.
In the sense, right? Because you see, that is what impeached DP Gachagua says. His biggest issue was being truthful, So is that the same, kind of truthfulness you're talking about, or a different kind of truthfulness?
Apart from the personal issues he might have had with the head of state, they had an issue of their own shares, how they agreed on. I tend to believe that the kind of share that this country should be having is how much coffee we are going to sell from Kiambu and Nyeri, how much fish we are going to sell to export from Nyanza, how much gold we are going to export from Ikolomani, how many sisal we are going to get from Voi, how much the people of Mshomoroni are going to contribute to our country. That is the kind of the share that we should be speaking about. But every leader has where they come from. Every leader, they say charity begins at home. So with the DP Gachagua speaking about, remember this is a man who's lived in Central almost the rest of his life. His first activity would be to ensure that the people of Central Kenya, and we cannot blame this gentleman for this. We cannot blame Jesus for doing the work he did. He first ensured that the people would go to heaven where his Father is. That was his first assignment. But I still hope that we will have some truthfulness in this cabinet. We used to have the DP before, who, when our brothers and sisters were slaughtered on the streets. This is the man who spoke with the young people from the coast region. He is the gentleman who calmed the nation down. This nation on 26th of June, I remember it because it was my birthday month. So seeing 70 of our fellow young people, blood on the streets outside the Parliament of Kenya, that was very sad. People had hope of this government, but from that time, people lost hope. Every young person in this country lost hope. No one believes what people say. In fact, everyone might tell you that when the head of state speaks, everyone now wants to hear what's there. As much as people would want to refer to him, but His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, people would always want to hear, what is this gentleman saying? But my kind of leadership which I advise is not the leadership around individuals. It's not the leadership around Kindiki Kithure. That's not the kind of leadership the people of Kenya want us to lead. They want us to lead them towards a prosperous country. They want to lead them towards a Mahatma Gandhi kind of country, where your conscience leads you, where before you act in a particular way, you must ask yourself, if these lights are switched off, would I still be proud of what I'm doing to the people of Kenya? The DP, the occurrence, he was not given time to be heard. We all know he was unwell, went to the hospital. But all these suckers, all these games, all these schemes, remember, they are derailing the expectation of the people from this government. People had a lot of expectations. The young people of this country, they were told they were to access free Wi-Fi, even under the sea. We've not seen that coming to life. The young people of this country were being told that they had been given 50 billion shillings for education. Up to today, the students of Masindo Muliro University in Machakos have not received, in Kakamega, have not received their HEB loans. This is not the kind of leadership that the people of Kenya should look for in the next government. Yes, I believe that there's always time to change, and it's only a fool who doesn't change their mind. Wise men change their mind every day. I want to urge, before time runs out, because time is really running out from this government. People are giving up. People are losing hope. No one is interested even to know what is happening in this government. In fact, today, this is the only news people are watching in the whole country. After what we are discussing right now, people might go to their farms, because the country has become a country full of 6 months, a country that has become a country of we will do, a country that has become a country of we are planning, a country that has become a country of we agreed, and now that we've disagreed, everyone must suffer. The people of Kenya must not suffer from the divorce of the head of state and the deputy of and the deputy head of state. In fact, this matter should be a political party matter. We can go the South Africa way, or we can go the UK way, where if a party feels it's right to change who is leading their government, they can easily change and replace. But what we are seeing today is the fights between a head of state and a deputy head of state, which is affecting the service delivery of the people of Kenya. All the meetings, all the sub-cabinet committees the deputy head of state used to lead are not being led anymore. Those are stalled activities for the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya are still waiting for the help. The people of Kenya are still waiting for better governance for them. But we are not seeing that one as of today. It's a really sad state of the country.
Right, Vincent. Right, just to cut you short there, because of time, we're about to wind up. But at the end of the day, it's 2 years in. We have an impeached deputy president. IBC is not yet constituted. There are very many things that, citizenry, they're not happy about, right? So when you're looking forward as an analyst, as a political analyst into the future of the country, we have 3 more years coming up. And we have this happening. This year for some, it's felt like 2 years in one because so much has happened. What would be your, analysis on what may be happening, can happen in the foreseeable coming future? And then we have one of our viewers who is very concerned about political analysts. And allow me to read this, comment here. It says, most political analysts hawajui Kenya wanasema wanapotisha wa Kenya. Mchimba kisima uingia mwenyewe kama vile Gachagua amejichimbia. So I think what we also noticed even from last week Friday, like I was telling you gentlemen, is our audience also, they're quite tired of the regurgitation of politics. But like you mentioned, we've had a history of politics, from years and years. So this is not new. And I think what happened historically in June is now the activation of what is in the Constitution about the sovereign right, of the people. That's why we saw what we saw on the streets, and it was historical, and that became international news all over. But at the end of the day, what would you like to tell a Kenyan who is psychologically, tired from this?
I know Kenyans want us to tell them things will be good, this country will head in the right direction, but I can tell them here, if the way we have seen for the last 2 years is anything to go by, the future is bleak of this country with this leadership, because that's a fact. Each government that comes in, you have 2 years to put the foundation of that regime. You put the foundation in agriculture, in technology, in how you are going to create jobs. In the last 2 years, a study was done here in Nairobi. Of all the people here in the city, only 3% of the millions of people here in Nairobi, 3% only, said maybe there is hope. 97% said there is no hope at all. Because things about hope is something that you can able to feel that things are going in the right direction. When we have a person, in Kenya, we have 3 arms of the government. We have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. When we have one arm of the government, the head of one arm of the government, Chief Justice herself, saying that she no longer watches news because of what is happening in our country. Do you know what it means? Do you know the magnitude? Do Kenyans know the magnitude of those words? And she was saying that in relation to what she's seeing in the education system about band 1, band 2, band 3, band 4, band 5. Because it is disadvantageous to some students from poor background. We used to go to university everyone can access university. Right now, a mistake, they can assume with their formula of correcting data, AI, they are using even AI. They were able to say they were using AI to judge the student who is needy. Kenyans want us to come and tell them, Ruto is, no, this person is taking this country in the wrong direction. We had Raila Amolo the other day in Mombasa saying for the first time, and he's the regime with Ruto. And
do you think the broad-based government has made any of this better as you wind up? Very few seconds.
I'm saying that. Raila himself in the broad-based government in Mombasa, he said for the first time, he's seeing the dark days of Moi coming up. If a person can be detained for 30 days with his whereabouts not known in this country, The other day we have the Wajil MCA. His body was found floating in a lake somewhere, and people want political analysts to come here and tell them, we don't think that is the body of the political analyst. I think he's still somewhere. You know, it's true. Kenya is going in the wrong direction. That is a fact, and we are not here to massage Kenyans' ego. And we are telling them, I'm a Christian. God, in the book of Deuteronomy, reached a place and told Moses, tell the children of Israel, from now henceforth, they should choose the life they want. I have put before them life and death. Let them go and choose. Because God created a rational human being who can be able to make choices. If they want to still make choices and Ruto to lead, me, I'm still okay. I'm still okay with it. Because any person who goes to vote, there are people who can reason. That's why it is above 18 years. Any person, the concept for voting, you can be able to reason. And they have seen what our country has become for the last 2 years. Mwenye macho haambiwi, tazama.
All right. Vincent, your final comments.
Those who used to eat chicken are now eating like chicken. Those who are obsessed by this government are now possessed of this government. We, the young people of this country, must make it really intentional moving forward. We must really define where we want to go as a country, as a people. Remember, what we are seeing today is the politics which has been there even before. In the 19s, as I said before, in the 2000s, when we see Mzee Mwai Kibaki and the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, what happened between them in 2002, 2003 is the same thing that is happening right now. When they agreed to share the government in one way, but what happened was a completely different way. And this only happens when the MOUs are not based on the people's agenda. When the MOU is based on personal agenda and individuals agreeing that when we get power, I will give you that ministry, I'll give you the other ministry. When politics is based on jobs creation, when politics is based on healthcare, when politics is based on transport system, we are not going to see such kind of drama that is happening in the government that is happening today. I want to speak with the young people outside there and tell them that do not give up. What we are seeing today is quite sad. There are no jobs in the country, none, no jobs, completely none. In fact, last week, the government only created one job, that belonging to the Professor Kindiki Kithure. But yet there are over 15 million Kenyans waiting outside there. We must make it deliberate as the young people moving forward. We must make a decision. What kind of politics? And it must begin with us. I have seen some
as you
young members here.
My director is telling me we're out of time.
This is my last point. I've seen some young leaders outside there who are really front runners when we had the Mandamanos. They have betrayed the people. You know them by name. You know them by face. You know them by hair. You know them by the cars they drive. They have betrayed the people. Not bad for them. But I want to call them back to order. That Youth for Kenya, YFK, believes in living according to the true plan that you give the people. I want to tell them that the people are waiting for them to come back and live according to the promise and the words they gave the people.
All right. Yeah. Gentlemen, I wish we had more time. But thank you so much for coming in and for that analysis of, just putting things into perspective. Of course, later on, we will be giving you more updates, on the Kerugoya hearing will be happening today. So, of course, we'll be having our subsequent bulletins handling that particular, aspect or news for you. But today on the show, we've had Vincent Akech, Youth for Kenya National Chairman. Thank you so much for coming, Vincent. And we've also had Chege Maju, Secretary, Social Affairs, Party of National Unity. Chege, asante sana. Thank you for coming. Right, so thank you so much for watching Morning Vibe. My name is Remmy Majala. I'll see you again tomorrow right here, same time. Thank you so much for watching.
yeah, Mr. DJ.
Lucky.
Anguka now.
When it comes to playing the best music videos,